Hello, this is Ahmed Hafiz, and today we will talk about sales order backing using Microsoft Dynamics 365 supply chain management. Warehouse packing is the process of packing the items after they have been picked. So we already talked about the picking process in the previous session. Today we will talk about the packing process to put the material or the product into boxes or containers. The packing process can be done manually or automatically. Manually through the packing station and automatically through adding the containerization step in the wave template. In this session, I will show you the two options. Firstly, let's try to understand what will happen in the warehouse. So let's assume we have the product here. So first thing, we will pick the product from the location and put the quantity in the packing area. Another worker will put the quantity into a container. Then he will close the container and move the quantity from the packing area to the dock door. Now I will show you the required setup for the manual packing process. First thing, we need to have at least one packing location so the worker can use it to pack the products. And we need to have location type for packing. So we can go to warehouse management, setup, warehouse, location type. And we need to define here location type for packing. Then we need to use this location type in the warehouse management parameters. And we need to add here in section location types and put the value here in the packing location type as default location type. Then we need to have location profile. Here location profile for packing. We have here location format, length of 10. We can use it as a string or text. We have here the location type. We allow license plate tracking, mixed item, mixed batch, mixed inventory status. Then we need to create the location. We can use the location setup wizard. So for this demo, I will use 62, warehouse 62. And the location profile will be back. So here I can say this will be back new. Then click on create button. You will get notification here the location has been created. You can verify this by going to the locations and filter on warehouse 62, and you can see here the new location has been created. The next setup is to define the container types. So let's go here, warehouse management, setup, containers, then container types. We define here, let's say we have three sizes of boxes. We have large box, we have medium box, we have small box, and we can define here the maximum weight and maximum volume for each box. Okay. Next setup is the container packing policy. Container packing policy defines how a container should be processed. To create new record for container packing policy, go to warehouse management, setup, containers, container packing policy. So let's have a look on the parameters here. So we have here weight unit. So we selected here kilogram. We can use other unit like pound. We have here something called container closing policy. So this determines what will happen when closing the container. We have three options here. We have automatic release, delayed release, and optional. If you select automatic release, the container will be considered released from the packing station automatically, and the action under the container release policy will be triggered. If you select delayed release, the container will not be released from the packing station immediately. It will be up to the warehouse worker to release it at a later point in time. If you select option to make the worker choose whether the container should be released. The next parameter is container release policy. This parameter to determine what should happen when releasing the container from the packing station. We have here three options. Make available at final shipping location. If you select this one, so once you release the quantity, it will be moved automatically to the final shipping location, like Paydor. If you select the second option, create work to move container from packing station, the application will create work to pick the quantity from packing location and put the quantity to the Paydor or the final destination. The third one, assign container to outbound sorting position. This parameter will be covered in another session when talking about sorting. The next section here, warehouse selection. We need to define here the warehouse. So we will use here warehouse 62. And we need to define also the default location for final shipment. So for example, if we select here, make available at final shipment location, once we release the container from the packing station, it will be moved automatically to this location, bay door. If we use the second one, we will have work to pick the quantity from the packing location and put the quantity to the bay door. The next setup is the packing profile. So let's go to warehouse management setup. Then we need to go to packing, then packing profile. So we will use this one. So here we already, let me expand this column. So we already discussed the packing policy, the container mode ID. It will determine if I need to generate the container ID from number sequence or manually. And here is the default container type for this packing profile. The next setup is we need to assign the packing profile and container packing policy to the worker. So let's go to setup, worker, and here we need to select the packing policy and the packing profile ID. Then here in the default packing station, we will select site 6, warehouse 62, and location, we will use pack. Then you can click on Save button. The next setup is the location directive. We need to make sure to move the quantity to the packing station instead of the bay door. So let's go to warehouse management setup, then location directives, sales order, and here we will use warehouse 62. So we need here to make sure to select any location with location profile ID equal pack. The last setup is the work template. So let's go to setup, work template. And here in for warehouse 62, we have two steps here, pick and put. We have here something called directive code. So directive code can be used to establish link between the work template and the location directive. So if I set directive code, the system will not search location directives by sequence number when work must be generated. Instead, it will search by directive code. In this way, you can be more specific about the location directive that is used for a particular step in a work template, such as a step for staging the materials. Now we will go through the process. So let's start by creating sales order, new, then let's select the customer and let's select site 6, warehouse 62, then click OK. We will use item A0001. We can use 2 each. Then we will make the reservation. Then we will release to warehouse. Until this moment, we did not have anything new. So we need to go to the work. As you can see here, we will put the quantity to the back location. So let's take the work ID and process this work. So this is the mobile application. This time we will log in with user 62 and go to outbound, sales picking, enter the work and confirm the location bulk dash 001. So, oh, sorry, bulk dash 001 and target license plate. So we will put this in license plate called LP 9999. Enter. Review the put step. So we will put 2 pieces into the back location in license plate LP 9999. Click OK. Work completed and the work is closed now. We will need the shipment ID, so let's copy this one and let's go to warehouse management, packing and containerization, then pack. These values are defaulted from the user. Click OK. Here we need to enter the license plate or the shipment ID. So I will enter the shipment ID here. So this shipment has 2 pieces from A001. So I need to create new container. I can change the container type if needed. Click OK. And now we need to pack the item. We need to add 2 pieces from A001 to the container. So I will change the quantity to 2 here, and from the identifier I will select A001. Note here the total quantity is 2 and gross weight is 6. This value is calculated from the weight on the released product screen. Next thing, we need to close the container. Click on close container. Then we can enter the weight manually or we can get the system weight. So click here. So here we have the value and click OK. Now the container is closed. Now we can go to the shipment details here. And if needed, we can check the container from the shipment by going to view container or container structure. So view container will show me all the containers in this shipment. and I can see also the container structure. This will show me the container lines. Now I can confirm the shipment and post the packing slip. Before moving to the automatic containerization, I want to show you how to perform manual packing using the mobile app. So we will need to create three menu items. So let's go to the menu items screen. We will need to create the load, or create container, sorry. Let's copy this. This one will be indirect. I will not generate work here. And I need to select container create. So container creation here. This is the first one. The second one will be pack items into container. Let me copy this and paste here. And this one also will be indirect. And here I need to select pack inventory into containers. And here I need to select the packing policy. Let me create a new one here. Then here, click save. And the last one is the close container or container close. Indirect, here I will use container close. Now we need to add these three menu items to a menu. So let's go to the menus. Let's create a new one. So let's create a new one for packing. And let's add this one. And where is it? Create container. And the last one, pack container. Pack items into container. I can move this here and I can move this down. Save. Now I need to add the packing menu to the main menu. So let's go to main menu here and let's move the packing menu. This one. Okay, we have it here. Click save. Now we will go to the mobile device. So now we will go to the packing menu, create container. I will leave the location ID as it is. Click OK. We need to scan the shipment ID. Copy and paste here. We need to maybe change the container type. Let's use something else. I will use box large. Then this is the container ID. Let me copy this one because we will use it later. Then let's click OK. Work completed. If we check here, view container, the container is created, but there is no contents yet. So we will need to use the second menu item. So let's go back and use the second one, back items into container. Leave the location ID as it is. Scan the shipment. Scan the item. And the container ID were completed. If we check again, the items has been added. We can close the container. Now we can add the weight. Okay, and we can now confirm the shipment and post the packing slip. Now we will need to go through the automatic containerization process. So first thing, we need to edit the wave template. So go to warehouse management, setup waves wave template, and we will need to add the containerization method to the selected method. So go here, let's click on edit, go here, containerization, click on the arrow. Then we need here to select the wave code, wave step code. So here I created this one, 123, and step code type is containerization, and we need to select it here. Then click on save button. The status is valid now. The next setup is creating container group. So go to warehouse management, setup containers, container group. We have here a record. So first thing, we need to determine the applicable container types here, and we need to determine the container utilization percentage. And the recommendation is to arrange the container type from the largest to the smallest. So the largest will be 1 and the smallest will be 3. Next setup is creating the container build template. So go to setup again and choose container build templates. So here we have one record, one template, and we selected here the container group that we created earlier. And we have here the step code that we selected in the wave template. And here we will allocate based on sales lines, and we will pack into all open containers, and we will allow split the quantity. The next setup is I need to change the location directive to put the quantity into the pay door instead of the packing location. So let's go to setup location directive. We use warehouse 62. So here, click on edit query. I will use here pay door. Click OK. Now we will create sales order. So go to here, sales order, new, select the customer, not this one, sorry. Let's select another one. And here we will use site 6, warehouse 62. Click OK. We will use item number A001. Let's set the quantity to 10. Then click on inventory, reservation, reserve lot, pack, then release to warehouse. Now, the order is released and shipment is created. Let's have a look on the shipment. So if we go to the shipment and transportation tab, then view containers, we can see here the container has been created automatically. Now we can process the work, close the container, then confirm the shipment. So let's process the work. I will show you here how to process the work from the UI. So go to work details, work, complete work, select the user, validate work, complete work. Now the work is closed. Now we can go back to the shipment and here the container is closed and loaded. So now we can confirm the shipment and post the packing slip. The last screen that I want to show you is the containerization history. You can go to this screen from warehouse management, packing and containerization, then containerization history. From this screen, you will be able to see which container build were used to process your wave and create the containerization. So if you have any issue with the containerization, you need to check this screen. So today we learned three different methods for managing the packing process. I hope this was useful for you. Thanks for watching and wish you best of luck in your career.